In a time when much of the country was struggling with social segregation and ambivalence of war, riots, and a change in family values, there was a cultural revolution going on that was taking a stand to support an individual's belief of love, peace, and unity. The flower children of the 60s helped to begin the hippie revolution, which created an alliance where, as a united front, they would live the life of peace and happiness that was always intended by God and our civil rights, despite the controls that seemed to be taking over this age of discontentment. My father was one of them. But how could they collectively resound these beliefs so that the country could no longer overlook their passion for life and their desire for change? It was by organizing one event where the many spectators and activists who upheld these ideals and freedoms could demonstrate their beliefs by taking part in one of the largest social gatherings of our history. Woodstock. A collaborative festival of spirits, music, and celebration of everything that America stands for. It was a time for all to come together and rejoice in their unspoken unity and love for life, music, and art in its many forms. These 3 days of peace would define a generation and the future of the families of those that lived it. In the words of one inspirational musician, Woodstock was a time for peace, a time to live, a time to fight, and a time to grow, as a nation and as a people. As a participant in this event, my father lived by these words and always strived to put these truths in front of him while pressing through what came to be many years of happiness, adventure, and a love of life. Woodstock became a piece of history that weekend that would live forever and be embodied in the live-free cultural lifestyle that America would soon battle when trying to maintain the status quo. Everyone celebrated life, lived for the music, and came together in peace and unity for this one long glorious weekend that would live forever in the hearts of all who were there. Even though Woodstock was only one event from my father's life, what it represented was a new mentality that would continue to define who he was and how he would live his life. Each of the participants of Woodstock shared the freedom to express their passion for life, their love for music, for nature, for change, and for their desire to be innately happy in everything they pursued. This social alliance allowed people of the 60s the ability to be self-confident and to live for the moment, and it molded my father for the way that he would live and the way that he would raise our family. Because these characteristics were so inbred into the personality of my father, ultimately they became an integral part of my life with him as well as the norm for my own individuality. My love for music, for dancing, for togetherness and adventure. The inspiration of my life was bred by my father and that of the Woodstock mentality. Even the music of that weekend would play in my head like a soundtrack to life, keeping me in tempo with my daily moods and everyday activities. I have always found music to be self-inspiring, something for every mood to keep me going and to help me get through every hurdle. Just like the variety of tunes played that weekend at Woodstock, I could always find the right tune to keep me going or to pick me up when I needed a lift. The strength of the ballads, the variety of tone. Even when the radio's not on, the music still plays in my head and in my heart. And these days, whenever I sit back and replay the memories I shared with my father, the music is always there, along with a smile, shaggy hair, and love for life, which I am so grateful that he endeared in me. I remember those times on the dance floor in our basement and at my wedding, his dancing with me. Hearing the beat, singing to songs of the 60s, Old Black Water, the Mamas and the Papas, it helped to bridge each connection that we shared. So even though those memories have long been past, as well as my father for many years now, I'll always have the music and the qualities that his Woodstock mentality brought to our home to keep us both close in heart.